sorry? All right, so now that we have our candidates, we know which candidates we're going to start off with our District 62 race. Candidate for District 62, please come to the front. And all right. And what we're going to do, what we're going to do here is we do have a mic here, so when the candidates come up, if the two candidates have to sit down, we're going to share this mic. It has an on and off button on it, so you'll be able to cut it on and off. And what I will do is I will call you up. As we finish one, we'll bring the next group up. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with our moderators. We're going to give a little introduction as to what the office represents. You will have 1 minute for each candidate to introduce themselves, tell what their business is with the office that they're running for. Then they'll get approximately 3 to 4 questions per candidate. They'll have 2 minutes to answer the questions. Okay, 2 minutes to answer the questions. Once the questions are answered, we'll go through it and we'll turn around and we'll give them a minute and a half or 2 minutes at the end. Let's go 2 minutes at the end also to also close up. So they'll get a chance to close up after all the questions are asked. They'll get 2 minutes to close up as far as what their final thoughts are. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Knowles. Can we give him a round of applause for always doing such a good job for our community? I wish we had 1,000,001 more Stanley Knowles all throughout the area. So as you all know, he's going to pay me later. As you all know, District 62 state representatives are 2-year termed positions, and these people go down to the Gold Dome for 3 months every year in order to help make laws, pass laws, and defeat laws in the General Assembly. They are responsible for working with 179 other people from all around the state in making those laws, and these are part-time positions. The positions pay a whopping $17,000 a year. So these are part-time positions, and outside of that, they are tasked with being responsible and being involved in the community. There were originally 6 candidates in this race, and now in the runoff we have Mr. William Boddie, as well as Ms. Valerie Vie. And so since we only have one candidate here, I'm going to start with allowing Mr. Boddie to just give a quick introduction of himself to the community.
Yes, my name is Attorney William Boddie, and I'm first of all really happy to be here. District 62 is a very, very important district in this area, in this state. I'm very happy to be here. I was in a 6-person runoff, so I was in one of the top 2 candidates. So thank everybody for their vote and their support. But basically, I'm a lawyer by trade, but however, I am a community servant by heart. I go out into the community and I help. I've been involved with the Foreign Leadership Academy since 2007. I've been involved with Let Us Make Man with Derek Bozeman and Derek Rice since 2007. I am seeking this position and I take it very serious. I'm here. I'm standing here before you as a candidate. Don't get caught up with the big signs. Don't get caught up in the hoopla. Don't get caught up in the phone calls. Because when you want a state representative, you don't need a Saturday morning state representative. You need a state representative that's going to be here for you in your time of need. LaDon Blackett-Jones, who's currently in the seat right now, Representative Jones, she's always accessible. She's always here for the community. And I look to do the same thing, to be here for you, the District 62 voters, the District 62 citizens. And I have a long track record of doing that. I've been endorsed by the mayor of East Point, former mayor of East Point, Pastor Joe Hilliard. I'm being endorsed by Representative Roger Bruce. I'm being endorsed by my good friend, LaDon Blackett-Jones. I'm being endorsed by her predecessor, Joe Hextall. So obviously people think I can do the job. And also you guys think I can do the job because I got about 1,100 votes in the general primary. So I want you all to come back to the polls in 2 weeks to vote for me, but vote early. You can vote at Stonewall Terrace right now from 8:30 to 5, Monday to Friday. And you can vote on Saturday as well from 8:30 to 5. So vote for William Boddie to be your next House District 62 state representative, a representative that's going to be here for you and accessible for you. Thank you.
All right. So the first question is from one of our longstanding community members, Julie, and it was a great question. She wants to know, as a practicing attorney, how will you manage your time in order to stay in touch with our community and the community's concerns?
Well, that's a very good question. First of all, I have been practicing law now, it'll be 11 years in November. But I have been involved with organizations like Let Us Make Man since 2009, Full Leadership Academy, and other endeavors. It's all about time management. And I've always been told where your heart is, your heart is. Okay, that means that if I want to get something done, I'll make sure that I take my 9 to 5 to get things done outside of my 9 to 5. So if it's something that needs to be done with the community, I have been there in the past, so I have the track record of getting it done, and I will continue to get it done. It's about time management and wanting to be where you're supposed to be when the people of the community need you there.
Next question. What are the top issues that you would like to address as a member of the General Assembly if elected?
First and foremost, education. Education is a big topic for me. It's very, very close to my heart. I was educated in South Fulton. I know that the Opportunity School District is on the ballot, but there's other bills that's going to probably be coming up that we have to deal with. But we need to fund education. We need to make sure that our schools in South Fulton are protected, well-funded, and our kids are being educated as such. Also, minority contracts. House Bill 712 is very, very dear to me as well. Representative Roger Bruce actually presented that bill. He's going to represent that bill where it's dealing with disparity in minority contracts. The DOT does a disparity report every 3 years, and less than 5% of the contracts for the state DOT goes to minorities and women. So we need to do something about that. So what we need to do is pass House Bill 712 to make sure that all state agencies are making sure they get the right contracts. What that's going to do is we're going to have a disparity study for all the organizations, and then they're going to have a separate committee or agency that's going to deal with those contracts and tracking the numbers so that minorities and women can be a part of the system as well. Because we all know if we're not at the table, we're not going to get the money. If we don't get the money, we can't bring it back to our community. So this is very important to me. Also, what's important to me is small business development. Small business development is so important. It's so essential. We got a lot that's going on right now in South Fulton. We got a lot of development, but I want to make sure that that development is very diverse development. You know, Cap Creek is great. We have some great businesses there, but we need more diverse businesses. Me and my doctor, we talk a lot. He's over in the medical district, and we talk about like having a karate studio, having yoga studios, having better choices for food. We need another grocery store. So we need a lot more things in South Fulton. Thank you.
As a state representative candidate, are you for or against the city of South Fulton, and why?
I'm absolutely for the city of South Fulton, Representative Jones. Absolutely for. I grew up in unincorporated Fulton County. My mother still stay in unincorporated Fulton County. I stay in East Point. But growing up, I always was like, where do we live? It was almost to a point where the water was through the city of Atlanta. We had private waste. And when we called the police, it took a while. So what I want is that I feel like we need to have government close to us. We have had a situation where we have been paying the cost of being a city, and now it's time for us to be a city. So I'm going to be out there once this election is over with the yes for South Fulton, with the town halls, knocking on doors, because you're going to need a state representative that's going to be there and vocal when this process is going on. If it's voted in November 8th, which I wanted to, that means that the transitional committee is going to be working until the city council and the mayor is elected March of 17. But we're going to need civic leaders. We need grassroots to make sure that things are being done so the city will be up and running on day one. So I'm absolutely for the city of South Fulton because I believe in self-governance, and we already paying the taxes, and it's the studies are there that we can be self-sufficient in a successful city here in South Fulton.
Thank you. And so for your final question, in the General Assembly, you will have a lot of resources for information. You have community members that have issues they want handled. You have lobbyists who are paid to bring information as well as to lobby for a particular issue. You'll have your caucuses, whether it be the Democratic Party or some of the other caucuses that you may be a part of. How will you make decisions when voting on bills in the General Assembly, and how will you gather the information you need from the community to make those decisions?
I think the best way, Representative Jones, I remember when you were elected in 2012, you did a series of town halls all over District 62. That's very important. You need to get in there with the voters. You need to know what the voters care about. And sometimes it takes knocking on doors, which I've been doing a lot of for this campaign, because that's the way you know about the issues. And being also that my day job, I'm a lawyer, I could go look up stuff myself. I'm not going to just take the lobbyist's word for it. I'm not going to take anybody else's word for it. I'm going to go to the source myself. If it's important and it's going to deal with House District 62 and it's going to affect this district, I'm going to make sure that I know what's going on myself. Now, the caucuses, they could definitely let me know and give me a guideline on what's going on, but I think it's very important for your state rep to be hands-on and do the research and do the work to make sure that he's voting right or she's voting right for issues dealing with House District 62.
Thank you. So that was your last question. So if you would like to give to the community a 2-minute wrap-up, explain to them why you're voting and anything else you want them to know about you.
Well, first of all, I think it's a pleasure and it's an absolute honor to be before you. I think my competitor does not value her presence being here before you. It has been too many of these meet and greets and political town halls where she's not here. One of the reasons why she stayed in the home news is that she has to work. Her 9 to 5 takes over, so she cannot be involved in town halls and political meetings. I find that very offensive as a state representative because the state representative needs to be accessible. I'm a 9 to 5 lawyer, sometimes 10 to 5, sometimes 11 to 11. But if it's dealing with House District 62, I'm there. I've been at every one of the political platforms and political debates. Rayford Johnson, when he was in the general primary, when he was here. Aaron Johnson was here. Joshua Butler was here. She has not came to one event, and she wants to be your state rep. LaDon Blackie-Jones, Representative Jones, has always been accessible for the people. Joe Hextall before her was always accessible for the people. We cannot allow some person who wants to be a Saturday morning state representative to represent House District 62. It's too many issues going on here. It's too much that needs to be done. We got the Opportunity School District that we need to vote no for. We got the City of South Florida that we need to vote yes for. We need transportation. And if we can't find Valerie Vie, why do we need Valerie Vie as a state representative? Vote House District 62 representative, your new representative, William Boddie, to take on the job and take the baton from this very accomplished legislator, LaDon Blackie-Jones, to move us into the next district and next year. Thank you. Next section.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boddie. Next.